Alright, so, cool things, right? Skyblivion has released a spotlight of their latest sort of development sort of stuff. It's got some pretty cool shit in it. Now, for those that obviously watch my videos, you know that I love to make stories from Skyrim. And that's because I've played Skyrim for 13 years. I know the ins and outs of Skyrim. I know everything about it. Even though Oblivion was my first, I've had nowhere near enough time playing that game compared to Skyrim. There's a lot of things I don't remember. And I would love to make stories with Skyblivion or Skyrim in Oblivion. With the, even a multi-character playthrough through Oblivion, where Cecilia will show up as a younger woman that hasn't become a vampire yet. That's what I'm really excited for. Before that though, I'd need to spend at least a couple of years playing Skyblivion. I'd need to wait for the DLC to finally be made by the team behind Skyblivion. But this game is looking like calling it a mod is an insult. Even though it is a mod, it's a brand new game. It's a complete remake of Oblivion with Skyrim's engine. And I can't wait, man, because I can't even play, I'm going to mute this for the sake. I can't even play Oblivion anymore. Like, I tried to, man, it just looks like a fucking potato. Now, I'm really excited with this because when I finally get my story done, I kind of want to save, put that save to sleep and reawaken it when Beyond Skyrim comes out. But before then, we're going to have Beyond Skyrim. Skyblivion. And this is what I'm really excited for. We've spent a couple years playing Skyblivion. Because this mod, this remake of the game, is adding vast improvements to the things that were lacking or didn't make any sense in Oblivion. Now, we're going to get to a couple of those, and I want to show you this one being right here. So, this right here is basically an enhanced quest. Now, there's a Daedric quest for Vermina. I'm pretty sure it's to get the Staff of Corruption. I do remember doing it. I think it might have been a Mages Guild quest, actually. Or it was a guy in the Mages Guild. And he was stuck in an endless dream. He couldn't wake up. I think he had an Argonian lover or something like that. You had to wake him up, but he was stuck in Valmina's realm or a dream. You had to get him out. Now, in that game, it was pretty much you were inside of a house. You had to get him out of a nightmare house. In this, they're increasing that quest and they're making it 10 times better by actually letting you travel into Quagmire, which is the realm of Vermina, who's like the Daedric prince of like nightmares and shit. So you actually physically get to go there. Now, there's a couple other things. There's three things including this, I really want to talk about. The realm of Vermina. I mean, going to a Daedric realm is freaking awesome, dude. Like, that shit's scary. Like, this is like a third dimension of hell. Hell is like, you imagine boiling lava and torturing devices. And the next one's your psyche sort of torture, where you're thrown into an ever-changing realm of perpetual nightmares and absolute paranoia. This is what Vermina's realm is meant to be. And it looks scary. It looks like you're in a Daedric realm. And that is going to be awesome. So they're improving upon quests and improving upon locations that didn't make either much sense or were not really utilised their full potential in the Oblivion-based game. And I want to take you to one of these, and it's actually a cool, it's more of an environmental storytelling, maybe even an environmental quest that isn't really a marked quest. It's sort of those things you bump into, you just bump into a character in a cave and they help you, you get that in Skyrim, like that dark elf got to help, she wants to find her treasure. And then basically by the end of the quest, she runs off on you and she ends up getting hit into like a spike trap and she dies. And it's something similar to this. Now, I'll get to that in a second, but I want to express how beautiful this looks. I mean, they've gone through an entire effort to make a Daedric realm just for a single quest based off the Mages Guild questline or the questline of Vermina to get her staff. I'm not too sure, because this is actually opposing Vermina by actually going in there and getting the guy out of the nightmares. But it's adding a whole bunch of brand new sort of stuff, like new variants of undead. I remember the Ayleid ruins in Oblivion were always covered with zombies and skeletons. There was no actual Ayleids until like those two giant statues attacked you, and I don't remember what that was for. These right here, Ayleid wights. So you get to see these in Elder Scrolls Skyrim's Creation Club content called The Dawn, or I don't remember what it's called, but it's the Mythic Dawn one. And you get to go into an Ayleid ruin that's kind of sitting on the mountains, of the Gerald Mountains. I think it's the Gerald Mountains. Between Cyrodiil and Skyrim, and you get to go through the Skyrim side with the cracked through and broken through, and you get to actually go in there and fight Ayleid wights, which are the Ayleid undead like the Nordic Draga. They're finally adding those into Skyblivion, which is freaking awesome. So now when you go into Alien Ruins, you won't just find zombies and skeletons. Hopefully they're still there, because they could be the rotted dead of those that have entered these tombs, these ancient cities guarded by the alien whites, have died and have been cursed, and also then being given the same sort of responsibility or duty as the alien whites to protect and guard these tombs from people like them. Now this right here, this is what I'm talking about. Now this is something they've definitely enhanced. Oh, they're just showing me cutscenes at the moment. I'll see if I can find it. This right here, now this is a location in Oblivion called the Haunted Mine. Now they tell you pretty much that when you get in there in Oblivion, it's just a goblin mine, that's all it is. But it was underutilized. So what the Skyblivion team have done, have gone through and completely remade it. Turned it into an actual haunted mine, where you go in here and it's completely barren and empty. Until you walk down the corridors and you start seeing miners that are mining on the walls, but they're undead, they're ghosts. The place is physically haunted, like they unearthed something evil and it killed them all, and now has got them mining away and forever. And the goal is environmental storytelling, is have you find out what they unlocked and kill it, and maybe make the mine no longer haunted. So it's kind of, might not even be a marked quest. It might be a new quest, or it might be just something where you've got to kill this boss, this bad thing, and it tells you a story of the haunted mine, unlike it was told in Oblivion, where it was just goblins that run the place. And so these are the sort of things I really like what they're doing. It's environmental storytelling. I like that. Also, Dark Brotherhood. Now the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim is AIDS. I'll be honest with you, it can be fun, the main quest, but the side quests, I mean, like the actual miscellaneous quest, is absolute shithouse. Because it's voiced. Because it's voiced, it's got very limited on what you could do. Now the Assassin's quest line in Oblivion was freaking awesome. It was meant, apart from the miscellaneous quest, it was just like, go talk to the Night Mother, relay that information, you're done. That was boring. But I like what they're doing with the Dark Brotherhood here. They're making it look very high sort of maintenance. Like, it almost looks like it's a Gryffindor dorm room, like you're going into a Harry Potter faction dorm room. It looks very nice, very elegant. I kind of don't like how you have to kill them all though. Like, that kind of annoys the shit out of me, because it makes the place empty once you're done. There's no ever point coming back. But I do like that they've restored the place to make it look good, to make it look like they're not just a bunch of cutthroat cultists, but they're a bunch of cutthroat cultists with a bit of taste, and I like that. Now, I'm just still trying to figure out how I might even be able to do like an ultimate playthrough story with the Dark Brotherhood, with like multiple characters. Maybe I start off as just a cutthroat, just a piece of shit, like kill someone, blah blah blah, and by the end of it, he actually becomes a vampire. And I haven't done this in my Skyrim story yet, but my Skyrim assassin will already be a vampire for a very long time. But the Oblivion one, well, he will become a vampire. He'll start off as a mortal and become one, and hopefully maybe even join the Holy Crusader, which doesn't make much sense. But during the time of Oblivion, you'll take whatever help you can get, even if it's from a cutthroat assassin, to shut down the Oblivion gates, because it's not good money for him if everyone's being killed by Oblivion, and it's not good for the Crusader if he hasn't got enough manpower to help him fight off the hordes of Oblivion. So that is going to be a certain thing, but I've got to play the game. Now this right here, man, this right here is awesome, what they're doing. Look at this cave, dude. This gives me like serious next-gen game vibes. Like, it kind of feels like you're in like a Dark Souls game. This place is freaking massive, dude. It's massive. Like, I don't remember a place like this in Skyrim that are like this, unless it's like Underreach. Not, this is nowhere near the size of like Blackreach. But this looks absolutely like crazy, man. This is the sort of shit that Skyrim didn't have, because again, time of its aid, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Now I'm going to skip through all this stuff. Okay, this quest actually bugged out for me. You had to kill yourself as a vampire in Skyrim, because I had the PlayStation 2 and I didn't have the internet. So there was like a certain part to where basically if you had the right items to get for the ingredients for the cure, and you couldn't give them to her, she just wouldn't accept it. So there was no console commands in the PlayStation, so I could never ever complete this quest, so I could never ever do the cure, and I was forever stuck as a vampire. That was a pain in the ass, but this obviously, I'm on the PC, and it's going to be obviously fixed, hopefully. But anyway, the cure, we're going to skip past all this to the point to where she sends you after to hunt down a powerful vampire. Look at this place though, man. Isn't it gorgeous? Look how massive this place is. Like, look at the spacing between them now. Like, this is like an ancient underground network. Like, that would have been, like, probably an underground imperial fortress like 1,000 years ago during the time of ESO. It's unbelievable how big this this cave network is. The level of detail these guys have gone into to make this place look like it is fucking crazy. Top tier. And this is what I mean. Even if Bethesda and Microsoft do an Oblivion remake, it's not going to stand a chance to Skyblivion. Skyblivion is completely made by 100% passion. Well, this is going to be not a remaster, where it's going to be just an upgraded, maybe graphically slightly better looking game, plays a little bit better than it obviously did in the PlayStation 2, and that's about it. This is a passion project. Everything from the 3D models to the texturing to the environments to the storytelling is going to be hand-built and placed by people that love the project, by people with absolute passion for the Elder Scrolls. It's even being made by people that never played Oblivion. But this is always going to succeed over any remake. The remake will be good for console users if they allow the PlayStation users to actually play it. And I'll be honest, man, I'm a PC player. I've been a PC player since I was 14 years old. Okay? I don't want the PlayStation users to miss out on the next Elder Scrolls game. I don't. I mean, if it wasn't for the PlayStation playing Oblivion and Fallout, I would never know about Bethesda games. They're missing out on an entire they're a lot better known now they are now than they were back then. But you're missing out an entire generation of people if you, get rid of PlayStation from the Elder Scrolls or the Fallout universe. It's sure Starfield's its own game, but I really hope they don't do that. But anyway, this remaster will be good for the console users, since this will nowhere near fit or work for consoles. This will be solely for the PC community. But look at look how beautiful this place looks. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. It gets really juicy, and I like what they're doing with this. Here we are. I mean, look at this cavern network. Now the quest is, because I've never done this quest, like I said, it bugged out, so I could never actually complete it. The quest is to kill a powerful vampire, and so by the looks of it, he's been locked away by maybe ancient vampire hunters, and he's been locked away in a magical barrier where he can't get out. And well, you've got they found the ceremonial sword. They're going to place it in some lock thing to unlock the magical barrier, and then you're going to fight the vampire. Now we all know in Skyrim there's very little boss fights. I mean, there's a couple boss fights, mainly for the Mage's Guild, like that speaker chick, the high elf that you piss off during the retrieve the books quest. You attack her and she teleports all over the place, or the fight with Mirak, or maybe a couple other quests in the Mage's Guild, like with the Eye of Magnus sort of thing. But you don't get many boss fights where it's pretty much just walk over to them, smack them a few times until they fall over. But they're implementing boss fights into this mod, so you'll see real soon that it's going to be changing a little bit. Some places or some named bosses in this game are going to have their own sort of fighting style, so their own sort of implements into the game, where it's not just walk up and smack them a few times until they fall over and die. They will have their own mechanics. I think they'll slash him to half health, and then they go, alright, I'm not going to win this fight standing here, I better change my tactic, and he'll zap off out of there. He'll go back down, get some more spacing, he'll resurrect some undead, and then he'll appear when you're distracted fighting the undead. So this is good. So this means you're going to have somewhat of a bit of a tactical thinking on your hands. Proper boss fights, which Skyrim never really had. I mean, pretty much any named character or any sort of quest you were sent on, it was just pretty much find and eliminate. There was no serious, thought to what you were doing, unless there was a couple of Mage's Guild quest lines, or maybe fighting Mirak, which was more of like him slash him, he'll disappear, kill a dragon, reappear. But this is kind of, I like this. I like what they've done with the environment, I like what they're doing with some bosses, and yeah, it's looking like an absolutely beautiful project, and I can't wait to play it. Come out around 2025, I'd say later in the year. If they haven't met their requirements, they'll no doubt do it 2026. Because again, this is a full passion project being made from the ground up, and it will have the Oblivion voice acting.
Take the ashes. Finally, some part of him can be put to good use.
As you can hear, that sounds like...
I have everything I need. Now all that remains is to brew the potion.
maybe
This, however,
Imperial female.
is a task with which you cannot assist. Give me 20...
But yeah, man, this is going to be an amazing project for the Skyrim. But man, I can see myself playing Skyblivion just for as long as Skyrim. I mean, the next Elder Scrolls game will come out, I'll definitely get it, but I don't know if it's going to stand the test of time compared to Skyrim, because of the amount of time Skyrim's had. It's a really hard game to stand up to. They could spend 10 more years making Elder Scrolls 6, and then it only lasts for a couple of years. People fall back into Skyrim because they've changed too much of their core mechanic. It doesn't feel like a Bethesda game anymore, or it feels too much like they've just added a couple new things and made the game look prettier and run better. People are like, I can get that on Skyrim now. It's been 15 years of modding. I can easily do that in Skyrim. Going back, so I can definitely, because again, Oblivion is my favourite game. It's my first ever game. I've said this before in other videos, I consider myself an Imperial in the Elder Scrolls universe. Cyrodiil's my home because Oblivion was my first game. As in many new players to Skyrim, obviously find the Nords to be their people and Skyrim to be their home. I've played Skyrim a lot more than I've ever played any game, but still I can't wait to return here and play in Skyblivion and even think about creating multiple character stories after a few years of playing it. What could I do with that? Because I've always had a story, but it was always through like the eye of one character, that goes from absolute scum to a shining knight of armor and a hero, from zero to hero mentality. But it's going to be an amazing project, man. Like, I love what they're doing to place. They're changing caves and tombs to look a lot more authentic and a lot more like, maybe serious quest lines are going to keep somewhat the same, but what they're doing with their environmental storytelling is fucking nuts. I mean, that shit's crazy. And boss fights, man, that's so cool. Like, nothing's to be on guard where you gotta watch a vampire that keeps disappearing and resurrecting people to fight you. That can be a pain in the ass. But anyway, I want to give a round of applause to the Skyblivion team. Man, you guys have been doing an absolutely crazy amount of work. Now, there is a... right here. If you've got modding skills, like, they're really looking for 3D artists, because again, a core of everything you've seen in this entire mod has been custom-made 3D art, from architecture to clothing to trees to everything. They need that. Unfortunately, I've got no skill in that, and I don't even think I want to learn to do that because it'd make me bloody angry. But they're always looking for new people, because every new person kind of adds a percentage of the overall time it will take to finish this mod. To bring Oblivion to the modern standard of Elder Scrolls gaming. And yeah, this is one day will be probably the greatest ever mod to ever release for any game out there that I can think of. This will even try and Enderal, and Enderal's an entirely new game. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's 2 years away, but man, at my age, 2 years is like fuck all time. It's year goes so quick. Yeah. Anyway, give it a round of applause to Rebs. He's a leader of the Skyblivion team, and everyone that's worked on it, even those that are no longer here, even those poor bastards that might have died. All their work has gone into making this a reality, turning Oblivion from a potato into something completely and utterly beautiful and immersive. So good work, guys, from the Skyblivion team, and keep it up. Without you guys, we wouldn't have mods like we have today, and we would never have this in the near future. So thanks for doing what you do, and keep up the good work. And I hope you guys have a bloody good time. Anyway, I've talked...
But even if you lack the required skills, sharing this video could help us...
You guys are excited too for this project, and I hope others, maybe that didn't even know about this project, which is pretty bloody hard. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, leave a comment, or jump over to that channel, give it a like, give it a share, whatever. Gets the word out. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Catch us later. Peace!